Hey, Brian Moore here, and today I want to talk about how to create a study guide, more like a podcast than a quiz, but there's other stuff you could do as well. But this is focusing on a podcast or a quiz for any exam using Notebook LM, Google Notebook LM. So first caveat is that I do have a Gemini Pro, which is the $20 a month program, so your mileage may vary on that. Also, a couple other things that we're going to be utilizing for tools wise is using the Microsoft Learn site for the exam objectives. Also, going to be using Overcast for a podcast player. So, what I'm going to be demoing here is really be also when I create this podcast, it's going to get uploaded to Overcast because Overcast basically syncs back down to my phone so I can listen to it walking around or driving in my car, whatever it may be. So the other piece of this is I did 4 different Microsoft exams in the last month, AB 730, AB 731, and AB 900, and PL 900. And PL 900 is Power Platform. The other ones are newer AI quizzes, AI certifications that Microsoft has. So, and I used this. I'd say I kind of grew this out of studying for those, playing with their trial and error, things like that. So I'm going to go through this right now. So let's start. So I am going to start off by creating. First, you're going to have to go to notebooklm.google.com, and then of course log in. But I'm going to create a new notebook in this case. I'm going to close this for now. I'm going to show you how I add the stuff here, but I'm going to give it a name. So in this case, next exam I am studying for is AI 102, which is the Azure AI engineering exam. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to start adding sources. Now is where we're going to come back to this add sources. In this case, you can upload files, you can use websites, connect to Google Drive, just copy text in. You could also search for news sources. I'm not getting into that. There's a million podcasts and videos out there on how to kind of use this tool totally, but I want to get into really just how I'm using it in this focus. So I'm going to start with websites. So in this case, as I said, we're going to Microsoft Learn. So I always have a difficult time finding exactly what I need here, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to training. You're going to learn.microsoft.com. You're going to go to training labs. If you go to credentials, and there's this poster, it's certification poster. I like using this as my links because these are all hot linked. So in this case, here we have AI 102. So that's the one I'm going to focus on for this. And there's a couple things I want to show you on this page. So within here, you can, these are the trainings that Microsoft Learn has that comes from the documentation. So that's what we're going to focus on today. And then there's some practice exams and stuff, but what we want to do is start grabbing some links out here. So this is the study guide, and we're going to come back to the study guide. But for now, we're going to go ahead and copy the link for this. Jump back over to NotebookLM. I'm going to paste that in there. And right now, I'm just going to do one of those so it doesn't so much spend so much time, but you're going to want to add multiples here. So I'm going to jump back to this. Now I'm going to go back up to where these pieces are. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the links for the computer vision, and we'll do that here. I'm going to copy that link, drop that in here. I'll grab one more, right? That way I can demo what I want to do here. So I'm going to grab one more out of here. We'll do the natural language solutions. Okay, we'll copy that one. Back in here. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that. Now, what I'm going to do to create the first, we're going to start with the Podcast. That's the word I'm looking for. I was going to say blog again. So podcast. So what we're going to do is, since I'm going to focus the first one on computer vision and solutions, we want to go back. I want to unselect that one for now. So that means whatever I do here is only going to be using computer vision solutions, and it's only going to be looking at the study guide. So in this case, we're going to jump back in here. I am going to go back down to the study guide. I'm going to open that up. Now within the study guide, you're going to see all the skills that are needed. So in this case, there's, plan and manage, tells you the percentages. But since I chose computer vision, I want this section. So I want to know these skills. Now what's going to happen is I already have a prompt built out, and I'll put a link to my blog, which has the actual prompt in it, and also instructions on how to do this within the video comments. So in this case, I am going to copy this section down to the next one. Here we go. So I'm going to copy that. I already have, I believe it's this one. So this is the podcast. So in here, we're going to replace this text with the skills from the study guide. So I will paste those in, and then I will copy all of it. So now I have the prompt and the skills that I need to start building this podcast. I'm going to do two things at once for this. I'm going to do the same type of thing to create the quiz as I'm doing this, because it takes some time to do both of these things to create in the background. When I was playing with this before, it took about 20 minutes to do the podcast, but I had selected probably more sources than I needed to. So, but for this one, we are just going to go back into the right place. Where was I? And let me find my, oh, here it is. So back, sorry. Going back into NotebookLM. In this case, like I said, I unselected this one. We only copied the stuff for the computer vision. I copied that whole prompt in. We're going to go over to audio overview. And within here, we're doing a deep dive. I am going long in this case, and then I'm going to paste that one in. That's it. Just hit generate on that. So we're going to let that roll along real quick. I'm going to do the same type of thing for a quiz. And since I already, well, I got to grab those skills again. So I'm going to grab these skills again, copy that. And now I'm going to go back to here, and I have the prompt for doing a quiz. And again, which I think I already pasted this in here. Did I already? Am I looking at the quiz one? Which one am I looking at here? I am looking at the quiz one. So I had already pasted this in earlier. I didn't, wait, nope, that's right. Yeah, so I want to paste that here. And again, I'm going to copy that prompt with the skills in it. And let's go back over here. I'm going to create a quiz this time. I would like more questions. I think that gives me about 25. I like these questions to be hard. And then I'm going to paste that in there. Looks like I went over the 5,000 character mark. Oh, well, that may be because of the, let's see here, output requirements. This is not too many spaces in here. This worked before. Well, I'm going to pause there while I fix this and while the audio is generating. So I will be right back. Okay, let's try this one more time. So I am back in here to the study guide. I have redone the prompt a little bit. I'm going to copy again here. I'm going to go back to show you where this is now. think part of the problem is that there was so many pieces of the skills, and you can see that there was only a 5,000 character limit. So let's see if we're in that character limit now. So we copy that. Hopefully this works just fine. We're going to go back into NotebookLM again. We'll try this. Beautiful. Okay, so now I have that in there. I'm going to let this kick off as well. That way we're not waiting. So there's generating the quiz, it's generating the audio overview. And I will pause and let the magic of the time machine and come ahead and have this done, and we'll come back. So we'll pause for a second. Okay, and we're back. I am, as you can see, the quiz and the podcast are completed. I'm going to show you the quiz first, then I'm going to show you kind of how I put it on the podcast, my podcast player, and that'll probably wrap us up. So, show you the quiz here. 26 questions. I don't know if I'm ready for this test or not, but an AI engineer needs to create a solution that identifies the bounding box coordinates and specifies tools in the toolbox image, which model should be selected for custom vision. So I am not totally sure. I'm going to go with image analysis, and I'm wrong. But what's nice is it gives you the answer, tells you why it's good. You can actually get into explain as well, so it'll actually pull up additional information on the question. Eventually it will. So there you go. So that's the quiz. You go through it. I have noticed that it's the same questions over and over again, so you'd have to, if you want to get different sets of questions, you'd have to generate another quiz based on the same stuff. So, but that's done. I'm going to show you the podcast next. So here's the podcast. Now what I'm going to do here is, I don't have my system audio, I think, recording, but I'm going to go ahead and download this. While that is downloading, which it is done downloading, I'm going to go to my podcast layer, which I said is overcast.fm. Hopefully I'm already logged in. Let's take a look. All right, so now I'm going to go to uploads, and in here I can choose a file. So you can see I have one from earlier. This is the one I just created. I'm going to go ahead and upload that. Now that that is uploaded, that should show up as uploaded. That's done. I am going to go back to my phone here, make sure that syncs down, and give you a little idea what that sounds like. So downloaded. Nope, wrong downloads. Where am I down? Q. Upload, sorry. Uploads. It looks like it is here. I will turn up my volume. And
welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are not just skimming the surface. We are going deep. We're really getting into the weeds.
Overlapping. Hello.
We know a huge chunk of you listening right now fit our learner profile perfectly. You're not just here for the fun facts. You are absolutely on a mission.
Yep.
You might be prepping for the AI 102 exam. Maybe it's coming up in a few weeks.
So looking at this, it's 34 minutes long, this podcast, and it is focused on AI vision and those details that I put in there. So great thing for me to sit and listen to. I'll create podcasts for each of those sections, and basically use that as a little extra study time with the quiz as well. And then, of course, I go through the learn materials and practice tests that Microsoft provides. I think that is everything I wanted to kind of discuss on this. I think that is about it. So what I do have is I will post in the comments the links to the blog, which actually has the instructions and the prompts. And I think that's about it. So reach out to me if you got any questions on this, and good luck on any exams that you plan on taking. Thank you.